Father, we come to you tonight grateful that we live in a nation where we can still express our faith. We thank you for that, and we're especially grateful to live in the Commonwealth and to live here in Grayson County. Lord, where our elected officials aren't afraid to express their faith in you, and we thank you for that, Lord. We know there's a lot of places where this wouldn't be possible. And we know, Father, that you're over all and that you're helping us each day, whether we acknowledge you or not. And we thank you and praise you for that. Father, we thank you for this court. We thank you for the men and women that dedicate themselves to serving the residents of our county through this board. And we ask you to bless each and every one of them, Father. We pray for the judge that you would give him your wisdom and give him strength and understanding, Father. I pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Entertain a motion. Motion by Tommy. Second by Brian. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved payment of bills. Entertain a motion. Motion by Neil, second by Darren. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved treasurer's budget transfers as presented. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Darren, second by Kevin. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved treasurer's monthly statement. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Neil. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved jailer's payment of bills. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Tommy, second by Damon. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved jailer's budget transfers as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Darren, second by Tommy. All in favor? Next, we have approved jailer's monthly statement. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Neil. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have approved sheriff's monthly statement. Entertain a motion. Motion by Tommy, second by Kevin. All in favor? Any opposed? And next, we have the burn ban ordinance.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. I'll be quick. In summary, this is our second reading of the burn ban. I won't read through the whole ordinance, but whenever the judge issues an executive order based on the information from the Division of Forestry, no person shall, when a proclamation is provided for in Division A above, has been issued, light or maintain an open fire in any location in the county while such proclamation is in effect. Any person who violates the provisions of this section may, upon conviction, be fined from $50 to $500 for each violation. This just fills in a gap in the enforcement of the burn ban that we discussed prior.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of the burn ban
I'll make
ordinance.
that motion.
Motion by Darren, second by Tommy. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, we have other new business. Jason?
Yeah, I got a little bit. Back in the first part of this year, we applied for a grant through Homeland Security actually it's through the state for tasers for our department. And we were awarded that grant in the amount of $27,729. So what I need from you guys tonight is approval to move forward with the purchase of those tasers so that we can apply for reimbursement. The amount that we're purchasing is $30,735.
All right.
It'd be 25 tasers,
How much was the grant, Jason?
$27,729. We usually try to spend just a little bit more than they give us so that we get the full amount. Because if you spend less, you only get what you spend.
All right, and we'll put this in the minutes, is I'll entertain a motion to go ahead and approve to let the jailer purchase tasers for the amount of $30,735, as which $27,729 will be purchased with the grant. So the total's gonna be $30,735. $27,729 will be paid for with the grant. Entertain a motion. Motion by Tommy, second by Darren. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Construction's moving along great. We got several walls up. We're still waiting on door frames. They're supposed to be delivered in the middle of December. We're still ahead of schedule. I'm not sure exactly how many days, but probably about 25, 30 days ahead of schedule still.
It's good.
Right, good.
Keep going on.
Kevin, you got anything? Darren?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Mr. Nathan? Brian?
Just that, running the woman out Bloomington Roads, that you wanted to thank the road department, for the good job they done on the road at the Central. Like a super.
Jeremy?
Just to give you guys a heads up, I've talked to you, some of you all about this, but anticipate next month bringing an ordinance for your all's consideration concerning clearing out the right-of-ways along the county road. We've had some issues with safety, some different vehicles, some different wood piles. It's making it difficult for buses to travel, pick up kids, it's making a safety issue. And so I think that I've got something in line that I'm working out the kinks on, but just to kind of give you all the heads up, it probably won't be the next day meeting, but it'll be the next night meeting next month. And I'll just bring copies for y'all to review then, and then I'd ask for y'all to consider bringing it before the court. And if anybody has any questions, meantime, just contact me. Thanks.
All right, any old business? Jason?
No.
Kevin? Darren?
No.
Tom?
I don't know if it's old news or not, I'm just curious, I don't know where that left. When the lady was here the other night about they were gonna do some research on the Logston Park activities, who was gonna do that research?
As far as research.
How it could be used, or?
Yeah, she's doing that.
Oh, she's doing that herself?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
doing that. We haven't got anything yet.
Okay, I didn't know if it was somebody that some of us were supposed to, okay.
Yeah, you're talking about the grants and whether
Yeah.
or not we can charge
Whether we-
admission.
yeah.
Yeah, she's looking into it.
Okay. No biggie, just curious.
Yeah. Dane, you got any old business?
Update on the Fragrance Road speed limit sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with Norman. I got with Paul with the district board office. And the way the formula worked is they do traffic counts. And me and you both know that you're gonna sit out there all day and there's not gonna be a car come through. So their suggestion was for the sheriff, or they even said myself, or the magistrate could go out there and just drive down the road 25, 30, 35. They said that they do this some. And Hardin County's engineer, they've got an engineer up there, and they're supposed to be sending me some information on how they actually do calculate their speed limits. And believe it or not, they have engineers do it. So, but they also said that we could do it that way. Just drive out there, see what a safe speed is, see what people suggest, whether it be the sheriff, the magistrate, or myself, or the road supervisor. And then it's up to the court to determine what the speed limit that would be.
Can they not communicate with each other and just drop that and just tell that boy to slow down and everything, just kind of go back to normal, you think, or they won't talk, or what?
I have
Instead
no
of,
idea.
instead of going through all that mess, it looks
Trying not
like.
to get into a domestic with such matters, but it's a straight stretch of road. The speed limit as it's always been. That road's been there all my life, and there's never been no problems. I
Yeah.
just wanted to see if there was a formula and it had been spoken.
Yeah, and
I want it done properly and
Yeah, it
that
won't,
way.
if you've done a speed study, if you sat there all day and one car came by and it was going 25 miles an hour, that's what the formula would be, 25 miles an hour, so.
Well, I don't think you want to sit on the one, so
Yeah.
get a little above there.
Right, so I suggest if I think it's Lewis's, is that what it was? If they want to go ahead and have a speed limit set, what we'll need to do is send Norman out, or you can go out with Norman, or me and you can go out and we determine on what a decent speed limit would be for that road, and then post it at the front, post it at the back, And, because the speed limit sign's only as good as what it forces and it gets done. So if the sheriff's out there, there's KRS that states driving too fast for road conditions,
There you go.
So-
That pretty well covers it in
you know, so.
harsh conditions, doesn't it?
And the thing of it is, you know, with law enforcement, you know, a speeding violation or that violation, either one, has got to be committed in the officer's presence. So, you know, that's, you know, if somebody could take a complaint, I guess, Jeremy, I don't know, would you take a complaint for somebody for reckless driving? I mean,
Well, realistically, I'd have to have some evidence of.
right.
You know, if somebody come up to my office and said, well, I got a neighbor that's speeding up through here, and I got his plate number, I'm not probably gonna bring that to court. I mean, you'd almost have, for reckless driving, I considered if there was like a video or something, but
Right.
it's difficult. Like in my neighborhood, I've got some people that live in a house that come through and they litter, they string it on down my road, but, you know, I can't put a trail cam's not gonna capture it, and I don't have the resources to do a live camera feed. So you're kind of stuck out dealing with these situations that happen all over the county.
Mhm.
But, yeah, complaint on a speeding or reckless driving without any kind of police involvement would be very difficult to pursue in court,
Yeah.
so.
Well, Jason will come out and pick the trash.
Jason's a,
We call Jason for everything.
I picked it up.
Yeah.
I've continued to pick it up, so.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we have, I don't know who it is, I think, it's not my staff, I think it's probably an employee across the street, but we have trash on our road.
Yeah. Yeah.
About once a week, I have to pick it up.
Yeah, 259 South looks like a bomb went off after they mowed, Brian, you was down through there after the state mowed, God.
Might be your
It was
boss.
terrible. It's terrible. You got anything, Brian?
No.
Is that okay, Damon, if we do
I
that?
just
or if
was
you
asked
wanna-
a question.
Yeah, if you want.
Yes, you've answered it.
Yeah, if you wanna do that, we'll do that, or like I said, it depends on what the
They
rules are.
just asked me the last couple of days to inquire about it, and yes, you've answered it
Okay,
well enough for me.
good deal, good deal.
Thank you for your trouble.
Neil, anything? Jeremy? Oh,
No, sir.
anything?
Nope.
All right, we've got somebody here, Miss Dee Dee, do you wanna talk to us?
Yeah, I'm not here to get anybody in trouble, or to complain about somebody's job, but, on August the 20th, my mom passed away, and when the coroner's office come to the home to get her, the vehicle that they drove was very humiliating to know that my mother left her driveway in that vehicle. To my understanding, they have, the coroner drives a nice vehicle, and deputy guy drives the one that sounds like Jed Clempen's vehicle. The muffler bobbed up and down, the gas fumes was from it. And I was told that that's what he drives. It sits across from Dartmouth's funeral home, and the majority of the time you go by, you see him, the one guy working on it. It's not Mr. Larry, is that his name?
No, it's.
The deputy.
Larry Holman.
Okay, whoever the
It's
guy is.
Marcus.
Okay, he works on it.
I
And,
work on Mr. Holman's vehicles, his are pretty good, Mr.
well,
Holman's is.
but this is the corner.
Yeah.
And this is the old one, and it sits outside, and this is what they go. Majority of the time, that's the vehicle that goes to homes, accidents, whatever. I think that if we have a nice vehicle that the coroner's driving, and it's not used for that purpose, then it needs to be done something with. There needs to be, I mean, I don't live here now, but I know that if it was your parent and they left their house in that vehicle, you'd been upset too. I mean, the fumes if you drive behind a vehicle going down the road and the fumes from the gas was behind you, it gags you. And that's how it was. When he pulled out of the driveway, it died on him. And then he was in the middle of the road and the car come and the car just went on around him. And I mean, he was very nice. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. It was just the fact that vehicle, knowing that there's two vehicles that the coroner's office could be using and they're not using it. I mean, it sits over there. I know other counties have coroner vehicles. Say for instance, we have 3 inches of snow one night and there's a wreck and they've got to go get that body. They've got to clean that vehicle off. It's not set inside somewhere that is clean for them to take it. I know other counties' coroners' vehicle sits at the firehouse. Why can ours not sit there? Why can it not be there and it be used when there is a run and not him use the old one and the new one be drove by the coroner? I don't know if there's another vehicle.
No,
It's not.
no.
It's not.
Do
No,
what?
What Dee Dee's talking about is, I don't know if y'all know Marcus, I think it's Marcus Clark, is that right?
Clear.
Marcus Flynn. Is that his name?
No, it's Clark.
Clark.
Yeah, Marcus Clark.
Yeah.
And Marcus has done work for, helped Joe Brad out numerous occasions. And, I mean, just voluntarily. I mean, he's done that for years. And, we actually had to sign some stuff with him because he was driving a county vehicle, make sure he was covered on the insurance. And, Marcus, he was gonna quit, and, Larry Holman, he's the deputy coroner, Larry Holman is now. And Larry goes out, you know, sometimes too, and I think Larry's got a personal vehicle
Yes.
that he drives sometimes that's got, that he can haul body in because he actually works for the funeral home also. And,
It's a good looking vehicle.
yeah, and, but I think this particular incident, and like I said, I don't know if y'all know Dee Dee or not, but I've known her for a long time and her family and loved her mother dearly. And, her sister is David Riley's wife, Monica, and, she was a really good lady. And, but regardless of that, you know, I hated that, you know, she passed away and this and that, but I've talked to Joe Brad about, we've got Jason, once again, he donated a van to the coroner's office. And I'm just letting y'all be up to date on what's going on. I don't know, Jason, it's been what, a year?
It's been,
Probably.
it's a little longer than that, probably.
Yeah, because if y'all well know, the coroner's office, just of course, you know, stuff like this don't come up often. So the coroner's office used to be located in the old hospital, and it was just a room, just a closet basically, is what they was in. And of course, you know, finances, you know, was always tight, you know, with the county and this and that. And Jason took it upon himself to, he had got, you know, with me and said that they was gonna build a facility over on their property for the new coroner's office. And it's a pole barn style facility, and very nice. It's not big, you know, not very big at all. It's got a garage bay in it. If you haven't seen it, you need to go out and look at it. And then they had some coolers donated because unfortunately sometimes it's hard to get in touch with loved ones, and you know, if they're out of state or out of county, and they have to, you know, house them somewhere until they go to the medical examiner's office. And there's actually a cooler and a freezer that's in their walk-in that sometimes they have to keep, you know, the bodies in. And they used to do that at the hospital, and because they only had 2 that was available. And so, you know, with the help of Jason, they actually built this, you know, this coroner's office, which is a really nice facility. In the time last year, I think Jason donated a van to the coroner's office, and it had a few little issues.
The rear end that was out of it.
Yeah, and we sent it, I told Joe Brad to send it to down to the shop. Jeff fixed it, he repaired it. And there's a couple little cosmetic deals that needs to be done. I think they need to get a stretcher or something in it. And that vehicle is always housed inside of the building at the coroner's office now. So I'll get with Joe Brad and tell him that they need to start, because that Suburban, that, I don't know if y'all know the Suburban we're talking about, it's an old Suburban.
Right.
And they've used it, and you know, it's served its purpose throughout the years, and tell them that they need to start driving the van that's been provided to them, which is a whole lot nicer, you know, vehicle. Of course, I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, a lot of people don't realize that you know, me and you had spoken earlier, and that you can call the funeral home if, you know, if the coroner doesn't have to be called, and they'll come and pick your loved one up and take them, you know, to the funeral home without the coroner actually transporting. But most of the time, if it's, you know, something sudden, a younger person, and there's an autopsy involved, they have to transport to the medical examiner's office. So it'd be my suggestion, if that vehicle with court, you know, with, just letting you all know, I mean, it's not gonna be an astronomical amount of money. It's just to go and let Joe Brad go, let's go ahead and get that vehicle, whatever it needs, get it up to date, get it ready, and get it in service.
Which one, the one that?
The van.
Okay.
The van.
Who owns the other one, the county?
The county.
Can you all just have it basically?
Well, what we just need to do is surplus.
Yeah.
Do they still have ours?
What's that?
Do they still have ours? They used to have ours.
Is that the only vehicle we got?
No, there's actually is it a Suburban? That's what it is. Joe Brad's actually got a Suburban also, and now it doesn't have a stretcher capability in the back of it. And he uses that vehicle to, you know, go to scenes. And a lot of times, the way this happens is Joe Brad will go to a scene, and the ambulance, say it's a car wreck, you know, and he can pronounce someone on the scene, and then the ambulance could transport to the hospital, or they transport to the coroner's office. It just depends on the circumstances. And normally they will transport to the hospital, and then the funeral home will then pick up at the emergency room at the hospital. And there's all kinds of different circumstances. I could give it to you all day long, different ones. But normally he would go to a scene, you know, he don't have to go to the medical facilities, because if they pass away at the hospital or nursing home, basically the doctor's the one that signs off on that. So, but if it's in like Dee Dee's case with the mother, she passed away at home, you know, Joe Brad has to come and do that. Which had they known, they could have called the funeral home, and they could have come, and Joe Brad would have showed up in his vehicle and made you know, pronounced, and then funeral home would have went ahead and took the body to.
But you can also fix his in the part, I'll be in it too.
Yeah, and I think he had said something about that too. And of course, that vehicle has got, if I'm not mistaken, I think that vehicle's got his vehicle's got 350,000 miles on it, I think.
So what's the burn?
No, Joe
one
Brand's
guy.
actually vehicle, yeah. And of course, it doesn't look, you know, that bad, but I mean, it gives him something to, you know, go to the scene with. But in the coroner's office, activity has, I guess, tripled since. I mean, it's got, there's, I can't remember the numbers that they actually pronounce, you know, through the year, but it's, you know, it's way up there. But still yet, that's no excuse to have a, you know, we've tried to upgrade our vehicles through, with the road department, through everything, we tried to upgrade our vehicles. And in Dee Dee's defense, I mean, I can't say that I blame her. I think, you know, we need to have a vehicle that's at least presentable, that shows up to someone's home.
Please accept our apologies.
And goes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Holds someone's loved one.
I do agree.
I would have never known, I mean, you know, because you don't, until he was there, because I see it parked, but I just, you know, you see police cars after they get rid of them, you see somebody drive them, and I really thought that's what that vehicle sat there and was. I just thought it was somebody's, had bought it and they just never had took the coroner's name off of it, and, you know, he drove it until he pulled in the driveway that evening, and so.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and give it to Joe Brad, and we'll get all that handled, so there should be no reason, you know, to have a vote on that, so.
All right.
So, anybody got anything else? Anybody? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Tommy, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?